Okay, so I was having some technical issues with this webinar. We are trying to do it again from the RV. So we're going to go into mute that because I don't want to hear myself twice. And it looks like we are live again. All right, cool. All right, so we have video coming in. Everything looks good. All right, I like that. Definitely looking good so far. All right, so then we're gonna see if the chat's working out pretty good. How y'all doing? How's everybody's week been going? Everything okay here? Everything okay here? All right. So let's keep going here. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ricky Burrows. Rocket Rick is what I go by. And last week we talked about why leaders fail in their business, why they fail to keep their team together, and one of the top 10 reasons as to why they go over that. And tonight we're going to pick up on where we left off. And I got my windows open and I'm like right on the road. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna keep this window closed. That way you don't hear it too much. And then we're gonna keep going here. All right, so let's get back into this. All right, so I got all these notes. Now this came from a guy named Peter Vaughn, and Peter Vaughn is a phenomenal salesman, a highly respectable man who is the uncle of our mentor, and he took an hour of his time and he went through all these amazing points about selling, and it is a skill that you must learn. You must figure out what people's pain is and then provide the solution to that pain. Now, if you've been hearing that over and over and over again, you need to just you're going to pick one particular area of pain and stay focused on it to solve that problem for that customer. Because once you get good at that, then you can start picking up where, you can pick up on all these other things, and it's just a snowball effect. You just can get really, really good at selling when you figure out how to help people, how to solve their pain problem. And what I like about it is that it doesn't have to be physical pain. It could be any kind of like emotional pain. It could be any kind of like something's grabbing. Hold on a second. It's my gun. It's just sticking in me. So it's my show. I do what I want, right? So, all right. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. We're gonna talk about affirmations and self-talk. When you believe that you are successful, you're just going to believe it. When Donald Trump was asked that question, how can an average person like me start to be successful, in your opinion, something to that effect. And there was a woman who was asking him this question, and he was beginning to, he started off right off the bat. He's like, well, first of all, you have to eliminate the word average from your vocabulary because you have to believe you're great. And you have to believe it, because everybody is unique in a certain way. Everybody has to believe that they are great in order to get out there and hit the mark on this. So you have to start telling yourself that you are a successful person, you are unique, that you are blessed of God. I go to that point when I say, like, I am blessed of God. That falls along the lines of like whether or not you're actually pursuing God and pursuing, His ways, and honoring His word. That's critical. People want to do business with me. You have to believe that. You have to believe that there are people out there who actually want to do business with you, right? So you want to be in that mindset where, like, people just want to do business with me. Like Jim Carrey, like when he was getting himself prepared for becoming an actor, he actually had the mindset of, he would rehearse in his mind that people want to hire me to be a movie star. I'm having these discussions with these leaders, and I'm saying, I'm not gonna go work with you. There's something attractive about this platform over here. I'm just gonna stay with that. I appreciate you. I respect you. You're an amazing person. And he just kept rehearsing in his mind that he was already doing this. And then, sure enough, he became a very successful actor. And he had the belief that he had the gift, and it was obvious. And he just utilized that skill of being funny and making something out of him. So you want to imagine yourself doing business with other people. When you do that, you will talk yourself into success, and you have got to touch at least 5 people's lives a day. Like if you're not getting your message in front of 5 people a day, 10 people a day, your voice is not going to be heard. If you have a message that you want to get out there on YouTube, then you've got to get your content out there. Content creation is just king. Like if you have content and you're creating it, you are absolutely going to get it in front of the right person at the right time when they need to hear it. And that needs to be your ultimate motivation. It was Kate McShay who was saying to her team, and they actually laughed at her for saying this, and I thought it was really interesting that when you're creating content, you're saving lives. And they kind of laughed at that, and they ridiculed her for a little bit for that. But that is how you have to think about it, because you just don't know who's going to find your video at just the right place, just the right time, and they're going to need to hear something that you have to say. And it really comes down to making a decision. All right, so how do you go into details to make questions more appealing? Right? You talk about 7 benefits. The key to selling is hurting people. Now, we talk about nobody wants to hurt anybody, and selling is not a hit and run business. Selling is a hurt and rescue business. It is a disarm and hurt them. Like when Peter Vaughn was giving examples about he would sell cars, and the guy came in. He's like, I got to get a car for my wife. I just have to, I want to get enough room for the dog so that the dog can be in the back. And because they had a young kid, where the kid would sit in a car seat, and the dog was just crowding this child, and the dog was actually stepping on the child's throat, and it was causing this gurgling sound. And then the mother was practically driving so close to the edge of these mountains, and it was like the road was like on the cliffside, and the husband's like, I've got to get my wife a car. And he's like, sir, how soon can you get to this dealership so we can buy a car so your wife can be safe? You have to hurt their pain and then rescue them. It's not like, oh wow, it sucks to be you. Imagine what would happen if your wife tumbled off the cliff, and then you did nothing to solve the problem. You just create pain, and that's it. No, that's not good. That's not good leadership. That's not good business. It's not anything. So let's keep going. One of the things you can do, and Peter actually gave us permission to say this, is that if I could wave the magic wand and make something go away, what would it be? You want to discover what their pain is. So you have to provoke them to actually make that come out. If I could just wave the magic wand and make it go away, then what would that be? You say that to somebody, and they will come right out and tell you everything. That's what you want to hear. Is your target audience, they got a bunch of pain, they got a bunch of problems. So you want to go right out there, and you just want to hear whatever it is that they're going through. Because when they have enough pain, then they will absolutely be looking for it. If you don't have the solution to their pain, they're gonna find it somewhere else. If you don't have the solution to their problems, they will find it somewhere else. That's why it's critical to know who is your audience. Who are you Who are you trying to help? Who is it? Who are you trying to help in this world? Right? So if you have a target audience that is saying, I wish I would just like spend some more time with my family. I wish I could figure out a system that could teach me how to, build a business from the ground up. Well, My Lead System Pro is a great place to get started. It is a great place to get started. It wasn't until I joined My Lead System Pro that I saw the platform. I understood what needs to be done in order to make any kind of money on the internet. Once I saw the layout, what you got to do, you got to build an audience, you got to engage with that audience, and you have to you can sell to them. Then I started to make some money with that. I wasn't making great money with it because I wasn't getting in front of enough people. And now that I've been doing these webinars, my goal is to get in front of hundreds of people every week. That way I can show them a solution to their problem. That is absolutely my goal. I'm definitely down for that. It was Mark Harbert who was saying this the other day. I was listening to a My Lead System Pro podcast, and it's a free podcast. You can listen to it. Go ahead, download the app, listen to it, MLSP podcast. And Mark Harbert was talking about how he shares this story all the time, how he was literally in his office and his wife looked into the fridge and then she spoke to him and said, "Honey, we only have $7. We don't have any food. We don't have any more food and we need food." And he said that he knew that he didn't have any money in his bank account. He only had $7. And when he saw that, he knew that he was in utter disgust with himself and he had to make a decision. And he was actually doing webinars for other people. So then he said, screw it, I'm going to do my own webinars and I'm going to get people in front of, this system, this opportunity, and then they're going to make, it's going to make a huge impact on them. And then lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. People were absolutely impressed with him and they trusted him. He was building an audience, he was engaging with the audience, and then he started selling stuff, his own products, and he made the money he needed to really take care of himself and his family, and that momentum has been carrying on ever since. So that's what you got to do. You have to know, okay, I got to have an audience, I got to build this massive audience, and I have to just go with it. You're looking to build an audience. You're looking to get in front of people. You're looking for that chance to just make a really big impact, and the time to get started is now. You need to get started right now. There's a button on this page where it says get started now. You want to click that and just join. A very simple question you can start doing is just ask people where they are hurting. You got to get in front of them and you got to know exactly what it is that's bothering them. What it is that, why are they going on the internet? You got to realize that if people are on the internet, they're hurting, they're looking for some kind of solution to a pain problem. And when they do that, they're hoping to find some kind of answer out there. It could be anything. It could be like, I want to make money and I want to also help people. I want to be part of a system that has, really good products that I believe in, and I'm able to take care of myself, pay my bills, buy all the organic food I could ever eat, and help the people who are in need, help my homeless friends. People want to have that kind of power. And so with this, you have to create content in order to actually get found, in order to build your team. And then you have to ask the question, like, what is it that the people are hurting from? It keeps recycling. It keeps going. You keep going back to, like, what is the pain? What is the challenge? What is it that the people are? What do they want? Then when you know who they are, bam, you can give it to them. I love this one particular YouTube channel. It's called Lunkers TV, and it's a guy who is in Iraq, Afghanistan. He was in the Afghanistan war. He's an American sniper, and he's not Chris Kyle. He's not the Chris Kyle. He wasn't um, I forget his name, but because I'm going like a million miles a minute in my head. But Lunkers TV is really he's really funny. He has his own products. He has his own T-shirts that he sells, and his own hats that he sells. He knows exactly who his audience is. It's gun owners who love fishing, who love hunting and family and faith. And he makes his videos, he surrounds his videos up, his whole channel around that content. It's just amazing to me. And I love it. I love watching those channels. I love it so much because it just makes me want to be out there and do those kind of things. One of the things I really like that he does is that he goes hog hunting at night. And this is like, and this is, if you're jumping on this and when you're catching me talking about hog hunting at this, it kind of goes in those directions, like here and there. But we're talking about a guy that is just he knows his audience really, really well, and he is a leader in this industry. He's a leader for the Second Amendment, and it's really, really funny, dude. He could be he's just downright funny at times, but he didn't go to business school. He didn't go to do anything. He just started creating content, started cranking out videos, and started doing things that he loved to do. And this is part of the whole thing. You know what I'm going to do for a second here? My throat is kind of like, let's see if everything's okay. So I think the stream is all right. I'm going to check in the chat. I'm going to go in this chat right over here. I see that real quick. I think we're all right. Just, people are taking a nap at this hour. 8 o'clock at night. Whatever. We'll just keep going. All right. So some people, want $200 for medicine. What will that do? Get it. I love that question. If you get this particular product, where is that going to get you before? If you get this, what's that going to get you that you don't have or that you don't already have right now? And it definitely is something that I learned from a guy named David Wood, and he understood this really, really clearly. When you start to talk to people and you figure out what it is that they are hurting from, you want to use their own words and spit them right back at them. I actually picked up on this when I called a dealership for a car. I saw a car that was it was a 2018 GMC Sierra. It's a truck. Beautiful, brand new car, a truck. And it was $2,400. And I sent them an email and I'm like, is this legit? I think there's a mistake. And so they called me back. I actually sent like an email or something. And then they called me back and they said, yes, this was a mistake. Thank you for letting us know. But I started to hear the sales lady spit the same words that I was using right back at me. I don't remember what they were, but that was the thing that was catching me. I was like, I'm echoing. My words are echoing right back into my ears. And that's what you got to do. You have to start speaking the words of your prospect right back into their ears. And when people turn you down, ask them what you did wrong to make them turn away from you. And I can remember this. I did this where I tried to reach out to somebody, and I was like, hey, I want to share a secret with you. And I tried to give the guy some information about, an opportunity that I was doing. and he and hold on a second. Is the stream not working? I think the stream is working. I think our connection might be really bad. I think the connection just might be a little slow. But anyway, just dude. Oh, technology. I think it's. I'm gonna move to a different location. I'll move to a different spot. We're gonna move over here. We might get a better signal. And let's just go from here. See if everything's okay. Not quite sure. If you're having a hard time seeing me, please drop it in the comments so that I can maybe adjust to a different location. I'm not quite sure. I see that this is streaming in. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, so yeah, anyway, so the lady was using her own words, my own words, and just getting me to respond to that. And I thought that was really clever, and I picked up on it pretty quickly. So but I said that before, so let me go back into this. So I was asking this dude, I was like, hey, I want to share a secret with you. You know, mind if I tell you what it is? And what ended up happening was I started to pitch the guy, and he's like, I'm not really interested in this. And he actually said it like that. He kind of put the word in there, and he was like, oh, I'm not interested in what you're saying. And I said, and then I kind of reflected on it. I said, you know what? I let you down. Can you let me know what I did wrong so I can get better at what I'm doing? And he said, it's like, well, you're good at selling, but I just wanted to get to know you. And I said, and then, you know, I tried to talk to the guy, and I kept on screwing up in the conversation. Like I wasn't really getting it. I was thinking about the sale too much, and I totally bombed on it. But then we were able to connect with about, you know, a particular fact that, you know, my mom had a widow's YouTube channel. He's like, oh, that's really interesting. And I was like, you want to see her videos? You want to see her channel? And he said, yeah. So I sent that out to him, and he was able to follow it. And I was like, so what'd you like best about it? And he didn't respond to me. So I guess I kind of burned that bridge maybe the first time around, but that's okay. All right, so so the next thing right here is, what's the difference between your bills getting paid and not getting paid? I'm not quite sure where he was going with that. Maybe in the terms of like, maybe like if somebody wants to get you into, if you want to get somebody into like your opportunity, you want to get somebody to join you. You know, how bad do you really want it? You know, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. This is really true. If you're gonna be building a team with people, your team needs to know that you care about them. Your team must believe that you have a vision for this team, that you're gonna take them from point A to point B, point B to point C, you know, and then you got to show them how to keep going on their own. And they have to discover their struggles, and they have to come to you, say, well, what do I do next if they can't figure it out? And then you just got to be there for them. You have to show that you actually care for your team. And so copywriting, right? You have to have a unique selling proposition. Always write your copy for them and not you. Now, copywriting is a phenomenal trade that it's like a hidden trade. It's the kind of skill that, like, you know, when like back in the day when, you know, when ninjas were first ninjas, the story behind that is that they were all farmers, and all the tools of ninjas, like nunchucks and like all these other tools. I can't remember the names of some of them. Well, like the bow and there were some other tools. They were all farm tools. They were all farmers. And so what they would do is that they would train with these tools, and then they would get really, really good at them. So when their enemy would come at them, they would think that they're just farmers. And so what would happen? They would attack these farmers, but they're really ninjas. And then the ninjas would come around and like take them out with their farm tools. Wouldn't even expect it. Copywriting is a skill that people don't really know that's being used on them. Copywriting is a skill that is communicating to your prospect, communicating to your customer on the subconscious level. Now, when I first got in this industry, in this profession, I thought it was a whole bunch of hocus pocus, weird witchcraft stuff. I really did. I thought this stuff was just like evil. I was like, subconscious influence. Oh no. But then you start to realize, well, your heartbeat is controlled by your subconscious mind. Your heartbeat is controlled by a part of your body and mind that you have no control over. You can influence it to pump more. You can influence it to pump a little bit less, but you cannot control the pumping, right? Inside of your computer, there is a program that is set up to respond when it has power and you're trying to do a few things here and there. In a control system in a warehouse is a little tiny device that has all the programming put into it. And I'll try to keep this really minimal so you can understand it. And there's like a control device that just like is sitting there, and what happens is like there's like little inputs that are waiting for a signal, and then there's outputs that control like motors, that control like arms, and they control all sorts of other things. And you that is like your unconscious mind. You have to have programming. The program is already set up, and copywriting is speaking directly to that programming that's already set up in people's minds that they just don't even know exists. I didn't know it exists. I thought it was a joke. But then as I got to study this stuff, I'm like, man, that's true. One good example about copywriting is mirroring and matching other people's behavior. Like when leaders mirror and they match other people's behavior, you just start to notice a huge difference in how people respond to you. I'll never forget this one. I went into the Miley System Pro event, and when I met Rob Four, I could tell right away that the guy was matching every move that I was making with my body. And it stunned me that like I liked this guy so much, and it's because he's making me feel like he was like me. And partly because I think Rob is just naturally like a goober. Like he's a nice guy. He's a weirdo like me. I like them, and I think that we just got along really well. But I remember like he was mirroring and matching like my body movements. Like when I clapped when I first met him, I was like, "Hey, Rob," and I actually bounced on my feet for a little bit. There was a guy at work who does that all the time. Like when he says hello, he bounces on his feet. I thought it was so weird, so weird. But then like I started to do that, and I just like, you know, it's kind of like when you're around somebody and they're from Canada and they say "a" a lot, "a," right? And you start saying "a." Since I've been back in Massachusetts, a lot of people talk with that heavy Boston accent. It's a glitch in the human system. That accent is just so incredibly thick and strong. Like, starter on your car ain't working. Something like that. You gotta get a new one. It's just so, like, when you go down to, like, Quincy Market and you talk to the people who like they hand out food, yeah, you're gonna see some people who've got like some heavy accents, right? Really funny stuff. But copywriting is always aimed for giving that message to the right market. That's really important. I like this. I like this point a lot. To read people. Now I am learning the skill of reading people. I'm just learning this. It's taken me a while. But to read people, listen with your heart. Psychology is 55% body language, and words are 7%. 7%. Communication is 7% with your words. When I first heard that, I said, nah, that ain't true. But it is true. When you have got a group of people, when you've got a conversation going with somebody, pay attention to their tone. Pay attention to their words. Pay attention to their body language. When you start to pay attention to these things, this is copywriting, because this is like gold. This is gold for you, because you are seeing how this person naturally reacts and how they feel the most comfortable. So that's what you've got to do. You have got to react to that. You've got to react by copying their body language, the words that they use, and the tone that they use, and the speed at which they speak. I can remember being in New York for my cousin's birthday, and the cab driver, he would talk really slow. And he said, "My friends, what brings you to New York? Tell me, my friends." And then I just explained this to my cousin about matching and mirroring people's the speed at which they talk, because she's like, "Yeah, I realized that, because I only like to talk to people who talk really fast, because she's a fast talker." And so then I mirrored and I matched the guy's speed at which he talked. And then my cousin looked at me like, "What?" And I said, "Well, my friend, we are here in New York celebrating my cousin's birthday." "Oh, where is your cousin?" And I said, "She's right here." And she looked at me and she thought that was so funny. She thought that was hilarious. And I was tickled pink, and she looked at me like, "That was really weird." And I said, "Yeah, it feels weird, but I know that's what I gotta do. I know I have to be mirroring people, matching their behavior, and all of that." And that essentially builds trust with people, right? You want to build trust with people, so match their behavior and make them feel as if you are exactly like them. You are just like them. And then they're going to feel like, wow. And this actually played out for my first student. My first student, I actually took this and implemented it in his workplace. I said, when people are talking to you, because he was having trouble getting along with people. I said, "Look, try doing this. Try listening to what they're saying. Don't react to them. Just keep listening. And then match their words, match their tone, match their body language, and then give it right back at them and see how much they actually respond." And so he did. He listened, and then he's like, to my amazement, that the guy who never would talk to me, we actually had a really good conversation. And it felt really good. I felt better. And I was like, this is copywriting. This is what you got to start doing, man. This is what you got to start learning. And it takes time to build up, start doing little things here and there. And then you just keep pushing yourself to be a better communicator. And you do that by having more conversations. You do that by connecting with as many people as you possibly can. One of the things that Peter said, now this totally got me. And, and it's the term you. I'll say it the way he was saying it, right? Peter was giving a speech to someone, and he was saying he couldn't really. He was told ahead of time that nobody could really get along with this guy, or he didn't get along with him at first. So then he started to just inject the words, you like me." He says, "Well, you like me, we just want to get the same results. You like me, we're in it for the business, and you like me, we just want to make more money. You like me, you like me, you like me, you like me." And then by the end of it, the guy was like compliant. He's like, "I don't know, there's something about you that I agree with you. I don't know what it is. Let's do it," or something like that. And I'm like, "No way, dude. That I still have yet to see the effect of that. Like, I haven't really challenged that belief and actually seen it take place, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun." All right, so do what you love and do it with all of your heart and serve the people. This is so true. Like, if you have a real passion for anything, do it with all your might and serve the people. Serve the people who are in need, and it's just going to respond positively. And if you come across people who just do not respond positively to that, you don't have to do business with them. You don't have to be, they're going to hold you back. They are there just to make problems. They're not looking for answers. They're looking for argument. You want to avoid people like that. Do what you love and do it with all your heart. Serve the people. People are going to be a part of you. So you have to integrate that with what you're passionate about, and that's going to attract them to, like, well, I'm passionate about that, let's do business together. Like, I want to get on your team. I like the vision that you have. I want to get on your team. I want what you have. I want to get on your team. I'm ready to get started now. I'm ready to get started now. I'm ready to get started now. And people will just respond to that. I like this one. Rapport is power. When you get people to respond to you, that is building rapport. It's building rapport. When you have people responding to you and they're active, it's just an amazing thing. It means total responsiveness. There's a guy that I'm talking to right now. He's going to join my team when he gets his finances in order, and he keeps in touch with me saying, "Okay, this is happening. These are going to get paid, and then I'm going to be joining as soon as I get this taken care of." I'm like, "That's great, man." And I'm convinced that once he has the financial opportunity and the resources, he's going to join. He's going to get on my team, and he's going to absolutely crush it, because everything he puts his hand to, he puts it like tenfold. He goes hard at it, and I like that. I like being around people who want to make an impact. And that's really the theme of, like, why I do all this, is make an impact. And I keep thinking about that more and more, that just make an impact on people. Just make an impact. You got a small YouTube following, you got a lot of engagement out of them, you got people commenting, liking, sharing your videos, saying, "Oh, you got to look at this. Oh, you got to check this out." And you're making an impact on people's lives. You can create a YouTube video that could stay on there for a year, and people could still be finding value out of it, even if you weren't here tomorrow. Like, it was your time, and if you were to take the dirt nap, as my boss were to say, then your videos could still be out there and still be making an impact. It's an amazing thing. You want to get as much content out there and create it as much as possible, so that the most people makes the maximum effect on people. You just have to. And in order to get people to respond to you, you must ask questions. You must. It's not negotiable. You must ask questions. I remember watching an advertisement for a guy. You probably seen him if you're into affiliate marketing, network marketing. You probably heard of Billy Gene. The guy is, classic, struggling, living in his mom's, basement or attic, whatever, second bedroom. And then he was able to make a successful business, and now he has a really good marketing firm, and everybody loves working at his firm. And he was able to help customers based on the questions he was asking them. He kept asking questions, and they were responding. When he had enough information, then he was able to help them. Information is just so incredibly critical. I keep reading it in Proverbs where it says, wisdom is better than gold. Understanding is better than choice silver. Buy wisdom, buy understanding, and sell it not. Because the value of wisdom is just like, it exceeds all materialistic possessions. It's powerful stuff. Rapport is created by a feeling of commonality. When you have a slight connection with people, even on a little scale, and they have that sense of they can connect, then that people will respond to you as if they already know you, because you already have a common bond. One of the things that I've seen, I'll go back to the guy I was talking about before, Lunkers TV. Go check out his YouTube channel, like and subscribe to that. It's fantastic content. Is that he builds tremendous rapport with people in his local area. Just within Fort Worth, Texas, he goes out and he gets tagged by people all the time. Like, hey, they want a photo with him. They want to shake his hand. They want to do all this. They have that connection with him. They have this feeling that they connect with him. And it's really an amazing thing. Coming, a guy who went his whole life, like from middle school to high school, not knowing how to connect with people. Breaking through that has been like such a huge thing for me. And maybe some of you are still struggling with that. You got to find that connection with people. It's like, oh, it sounds corny. Yeah, just shut up and do it. Just suck it up, buttercup, and do it. Just find that common bond that people have and make that connection with people. Because when you do that, you feel better. You feel comfortable. You are feeling really comfortable having that conversation. Imagine being able to make everybody laugh all the time. What would would you try to be making more people laugh all the time from there on out? Yes, you would. You would be making people laugh at all times, and you try to get the best laughs out of them. And then you would love it if people were talking about you after you made that joke, and then they're going to share that joke, and it just spreads, right? When you have that one little common bond with people, it's really powerful. People will have that feeling of commonality. Having that sense of like being one with people in mind and spirit, and that it just works. I know that as an electrician, when I go to my job and I'm working with the mechanics and we have one mind to fix the problem and everybody does their job really well, there's that feeling of commonality. There's that respect. There's that, and then when you walk away, there's that residual feeling of like, we had one goal, everybody did their job, everybody did really well. And it doesn't matter what you could have been going through that day. You could have been like, wow, this guy's irritating me, or, I don't really like this dude. But when it comes down to the problem, everybody comes together, they get the problem solved, and they just do their job. There's that common bond, and that's really people. That's really amazing. People like other people who are like themselves, or how they would like to be. That's really powerful stuff. That is amazing. People love to be around other people who behave like them. You know, if you're around people, like if you are the kind of guy that likes Billie Jean, right, you want to be like him, where you have like this tremendous success, but you don't want to be cursing and swearing all the time. You can still look at the success part, and you like his creativity. It just like it's very attractive that I want to be like his success. I want to have the success that he has. You know, if some other people, they want to be around other people who are exactly like them. Here's another example. You know, and this is all coming down to like, copywriting. There's a thing in there that's called copywriting mastery somewhere on this page. You got to learn this skill. You got to get into this. You got to get started now. You got to learn more. So just go ahead and just start today. I tell a guy at work, start today. Start. Don't talk about how I wish I could have went back 15 years. Start today. Make an impact in your life. Start today. And people are making a difference. People are starting today. So anyway, I want to go back to the show, The Mythbusters, and how people like being around people who are exactly like them. The guy who was running the show, was part of running the show. His name is Adam Savage. Adam Savage had a very, like you could see him, you could look at him, you could know that that's Adam Savage. If you remember the show, he had like this, like, I want to say he was like a very light redhead, kind of blonde, and he had like a goatee, and he had a certain build to his body. And then later on, when the show ended, he started doing his own YouTube channel, started doing his own thing. The guy that is on his channel looks exactly like him. And like, he's got the glasses, he's got, the goatee, he's got the same hair look to him, the tone, everything matches. It's a copy paste. The two are two different people, but you can tell that they are, they are like one-minded people. And people like to be around other people who are exactly like them, or how they would like to be. And another, I mean, I love stuff like this. Whatever energy you put into the people, it's just going to return right back out to you. Whatever energy people put out, send it right back to them. So if they're waving their arms, their tones wild and all over the place, you gotta just trust that, the universe is not going to explode if you just match that. I have a dude that I work with. He loves to be super animated. He loves to be animated, right? And he loves to just, like, he's so animated. Well, funny being it that, like, I am animated, but this guy takes it to a whole nother level. So when I'm around him, I'm talking just like him, and he's talking like that right back at me, and he's really animated, and it's just so funny sometimes because I'm like, I feel really awkward being overly animated, in front of this guy, and then there's other people around. But when people put out a particular energy, and you put that out back to them, then that's going to make them feel comfortable being around you. So if you got a guy who's really soft and it's not loud, he's not, he's not energetic, put that same soft, energy right back at him, because that's going to make them feel comfortable. You might have a really good business partner who just needs to be around somebody who's not so super hyperactive all the time. But they like to do that. Style is definitely more important than substance initially. Style is more important than substance initially. And now we're getting into some Tony Robbins, where he says that when you are showing who you are right up front, people will judge you in like a microsecond whether or not they like you or not. And then they're going to decide whether or not, well, I'm just going to walk away. It was also Ted Kennedy. I want to say I think it's like Ted Kennedy. I think it was him. I could be way off. But he was saying how people are trying every millisecond to walk away from your opportunity, to walk away from your video, to walk away from whatever it is that you're presenting. because it's just like in their nature to, they want to feel something. They want to be a part of something. They want to feel something, right? So if they feel something, then then they can dive into the substance after. It's important to get their attention. It's important to get them to feel something really quickly, and then people will naturally gravitate towards that. They want to do business with you. All right, so things that are holding you back. We're gonna conclude on this. Hey, like, what is holding you back? You are who you associate yourself with, or whoever someone else has persuaded to become. They set the standards. You hit the mark. I love this because it really. The first time I heard that, it really grabbed me. You are a combination of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And it was so true. And then I separated myself from those people. And I went from being totally depressed and angry and bittery. And then I decided to just totally surrender to God and allow Him to heal me from this anger and the bitterness and the swelling hatred that I had in me. I just had to get away from it all. I had to. It was just eating me up. It was eating me physically, mentally, spiritually, everything in me. Just like said, I have got to cut off this source of stress. And it is by walking away from some people. Because you are, and this is what's holding you back. You are a combination. You are who you associate yourself with. The people that you associate yourself with, or whoever someone else has persuaded to become. They set the standards, and if you follow them, you're going to hit the mark that they set. And then, you're a combination of those beliefs. These things can definitely hold you back, but they can also propel you forward. If you're around a group of people who are just crushing it in life, they're spiritually, right in the earth. They're spiritually right with God. They're spiritually right with one another. They have a business that is just exploding with profit. It's because they're doing something right. And you hang around those people, you're definitely going to start showing the same results. It's important. You must do those things. You must get around other people. I like this one. You have beliefs that do not serve you or your prospects. One of the reasons why leaders fail is that they are protecting the beliefs that they've been hanging on to for years. They have beliefs that just do not serve their people whatsoever. It's amazing. It is really amazing. You are, what are the beliefs that you are protecting? What are the questions that you are asking? And it's time to make a decision. It is time to make a decision. What is holding you back from failing as a leader? You can't look at it like you're going to fail and then like the world is going to fall apart. It's not. You're going to make a video. You're going to screw up at the video, but then you're going to just learn and make another video and get better. And then screw up and then get better. Figure out what you did. And by the time you're doing your 4th or 5th video, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. You're just going to get better and better. And then everything's going to be fine. You're just going to be getting started right now. You're going to start, making a big difference in people. And then, life will be good, making an impact. So think about that. Think about that. Think about what's holding you back. Why are other leaders failing? The vision that they have for the company does not serve the people. Your vision will serve the people. It's just got to get right into it. You got to figure out who your target audience is, what are their pains and struggles, and we keep repeating this over and over again because it is the facts. You must know who your audience is. Know thy customer. Commandment number 1. Well, honor the Lord. Commandment number 2, love thy customer as thyself. And you will be blessed. Absolutely. Relationships with people is key. So, okay, we're going to conclude this webinar for tonight. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you next week. And we'll just take it around. Just go from there. Now, if we can just... there it is. Bye-bye for now.